Hello, kindergarten friends, and welcome to week 2, day 4. Mama Echo's here to say hi to you today and keep an eye on you and practicing your letters. And of course, we have Baby Echo to help us with our letter sound cards today. So let's review the letters we've learned so far. Our skyline letter, Benny Bear. Remember, uppercase is always going to be skyline. Lowercase, we start at the skyline, down to the grass line, trace up and around by the plain line, down to the grass line for Benny Bear's big old belly. B bear b, B bear b, B bear b, B bear b. Our next friend is another skyline letter, Fifi Fish. Uppercase letter is a skyline letter, and so is lowercase. Remember, we hook up to the skyline, down to the grass line, and cross over at the plain line. F fish, F fish, F fish, F fish. Okay, our next skyline letter is Tiggy Tiger. Uppercase letter is skyline, lowercase letter is skyline. Start at the skyline, down to the grass line, cross over at the plain line. T tiger t, T tiger t, T tiger t, T tiger t. And then our two new friends for this week, which are both plain line letters. So remember, we go to the dotted line. We don't want to go above the dotted line or those letters are going to float away in the sky like a balloon. So we start at the plain line, straight down to the grass line, trace it back up, hump over, down to the grass line, trace back up, hump over, down to the grass line. M mouse, M mouse, M mouse, M mouse, And our final letter for this week is our friend Nile Noodle. Another plain line letter, so we start at the plain line, down to the grass line, trace back up, and hump over and down to the grass line. N noodle, N noodle, N noodle, N noodle, Okay, today, boys and girls, we have a couple different writing things we're going to do. We are going to start with just practicing writing our letters. Remember that our skyline letters are always going to reach all the way up to the sky. So the letter B, start at the sky, down to the grass, trace up, around, and down. Benny Bear's belly sticking out. Our letter F, remember we hook up to the skyline, down to the grass line, and cross over at the plain line. And our last skyline letter, the letter T, start at the skyline, straight down to the grass line, cross at the plain line. Remember, that one looks like a cross or like a plus sign. Okay, our two plain line letters, M, start at the plain line, straight down to the grass line, trace up, hump over and down, trace up, hump over and down. Remember, if it's easier, parents, to make a little dotted M and have your students trace over that, that is great practice for them. So again, start at the plain line, straight down to the grass line, trace up, hump over and down to the grass line, trace up, hump over and down to the grass line. And our last letter for this week, letter N, start at the plain line, straight down to the grass line, trace up, hump over and down to the grass line. One more time, plain line, straight down to the grass line, trace up to the plain line, hump over and down to the grass line. Today we are going to work on sentences again. Remember last week we made these frames, and remember the reason that this one is so tall is because every time we start a sentence, we start with an uppercase or a capital letter. A sentence always starts with a capital letter. And then I have my punctuation box at the end, which will either be a period, a question mark, or an exclamation mark. Today, I am going to write for you 2 sentences, okay? And then you can practice with your name if you want. Okay, so I am going to write Peter likes candy. So I'm going to move my camera down. So Peter, I'm making it an uppercase because it's the beginning of a sentence and it's a name. Just like when you write your name, you'll have an uppercase. Peter. Remember, if you have to go outside the box for those skyline letters, that's okay. Peter. And remember, we leave a finger space between our words. Peter likes, there's our next word, finger space between our words, candy. I like candy too, especially chocolate candy. And then I'm going to put my period in the box. So when I read this, I'm going to point. Peter likes candy. And I have my period in the box. Now I'm going to use the word dislike. Dislike means when you don't like something. So I'm going to write, Joey dislikes peas. So again, starting with my uppercase. Joey, finger space. And I know some of these letters we haven't learned yet. That's okay. Just try your best. Dislikes. Remember, that means he doesn't like. Finger space for a new word. Peas. I used to like peas when I was a little girl, but I don't like them anymore. So we have two sentences today. We have Peter likes candy. Period at the end so that I know my thought is all finished. I'm ready to move on. Joey dislikes peas. Period at the end so I know that I'm all done. Both of my sentences start with an uppercase and I make those boxes so I know to leave my finger space in between. So now your job is to see if you can make these boxes and you are going to use your name and tell me something that you like and something that you dislike. Okay? So maybe like my daughter's name is Faith. Faith likes chicken. That's her favorite. Faith dislikes fish. Okay? So if you want to share those, you are more than welcome to. I would love to see your sentences and what you like and dislike or don't like. I look forward to seeing some of those. If you don't get it on Seesaw, that's okay. But go ahead and practice writing those sentences for me, and I will see you back here tomorrow. I hope you have a great day learning.